You got her involved. You guys won the Super Bowl with her help, with all those Swifties helping out. Don't say they didn't help, because they helped. Now, you might have caused a little bit of drama, brother.
Take it away from the barn is alive again.
Got me in my hormones, all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, ready for a walk.
Ooh, I'm just playing with the knobs here, Mitch. Keep it PG. Not just PG.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I love early pod days.
Ah, yes, everyone. You are listening to the Sports Show, okay? At Sports Show Podcast. Look for the blue and white logo. At Sports Show Podcast is on Instagram. It's on Spotify. Well done. I just noticed that. He's looking for it.
I'm looking.
And it's on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel.
Right.
You know why? Because our friends won't. Well, I shouldn't say that. No, our real friends do. Mm-hmm. But our other friends that we have in a fantasy football pool that we promoted, not one new subscriber.
Zero.
Like I looked, I'm like, okay, like we're not kidding. Like download the damn thing.
Dude, we've been doing this 7 years. They're pretty much the same 7 years that we've done the fantasy. And, those guys are, we can't rely on them. There's one guy, though.
The Swiss Greek.
The Loofah winner.
Did you see?
I saw.
He
was working the work.
He was working the work. That's why he has the loofah.
That's right.
He's listen, until proven otherwise, he may have secured the loofah for next year.
I think he's in the
lead
it's not
already. Like it is not a joke.
You know what? It's funny we talk about the loofahs. It's funny you say that because there's another person that we're going to talk about very soon.
Okay.
And she won the loofah of the year. She won the killer of the year. And that's Taylor Swift.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, we're getting there.
But until that, you're going to notice something a little bit different. A little bit different of attire.
Right.
Different lighting in the room.
Why is that?
It's because we're recording a day earlier.
Yeah.
On the Friday. So you're getting this on the Friday. 1 day earlier. Special.
It is a special.
NFL started. Packers are playing tonight. But more importantly, life happens.
Life happens.
Mitch has got a wedding tomorrow. By the way, congratulations.
This would be your old cousin Jim's daughter.
I was just going to say the relation niece, right?
Yeah. I guess you can.
Yeah, let's go there. So, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
To old cousin Jim.
Yeah, he's
the
going to
charcuterie king.
Paying through the nose on this one, brother.
So, if you never supported us before, do it now we can give money back to old cousin
That's
Jim.
Right. He's going to need it.
So, he's a listener of the Sports Show. We can't thank you enough always for the years of support. He's one of the good friends we talked about. And even during COVID, I remember, we snuck him in 1 year.
Yeah.
We can say it now.
Because
we can't get in trouble.
Got a little scary then.
Congratulations, Nasazizi. That's a very big honor. Great thing for your family. So health, happiness, and love. Old cousin Jim to your family. That's wonderful news. So this is close family right now.
Close.
You're at the wedding. Mm-hmm. We gotta make things work. Selfishly.
Yeah.
Every time we come here on a Friday,
right?
I always want to do a Friday. I just say, why don't we just do it Fridays?
Why don't we just do it Friday?
But it's the Greek hour.
It's the Greek hour.
That's the Greek hour.
It's that. That's it. And it's probably because our wives wouldn't let us. Also, bro.
I think we could sell it.
Now,
I think we could sell it.
You know what? Together we can sell it. If we sell it together. Because you can't. Your pitch can't be better than my pitch, and vice versa. If we pitch it together, we could do it.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm just thinking about it.
Right.
No, we got to pitch it separately.
No.
Listen to me.
Okay,
follow me.
Okay.
Follow me. But they can't know that we're pitching separately.
Okay.
If we get one okay,
right,
we can use the art of women's cattiness getting jealous of each other. And you could say, I could be like, listen, Tamara, I get that you don't want me to.
Right.
But why is it that Katerina said yes?
Yeah, good point.
And vice versa.
You know what?
Then, let's say now we, because it's all scenario planning, right?
Right.
Let's say now we turn to them and we say, listen, we want to do the Friday podcast. Here's our reasonings. They both say no.
Right.
Then we call in the cavalry.
Good point.
Then we do it together because they don't know otherwise.
You're right. You know what? I like that. I'm just going to say this.
As a financial advisor, the hedge is important.
The hedge is important.
The protection on the downside.
How about this? You go first because I think that's the way we get this done.
I think so.
I think so.
Listen, if history is going to teach us anything, listen, past performance
that's right.
is not indicative of future returns. However, we got to read the trend line.
I agree. Now, speaking of setting up things, thank God, I'm looking over across to my Padre here. Why? Because Wednesday we had the draft, the fantasy draft that I and Dimitri are in together. Okay, and he sends me a quick
separate teams.
Yeah, separate teams. But he goes, "Hey, are you getting ready?" I go, "Oh my goodness, I almost forgot." So I go to log in, couldn't log in. See, fantasy football is the best because you're getting excited. Every guy out there is going, "Oh, my team's gonna kill. It's gonna." And even if you did draft, auto draft, or if you drafted on your own, and it's somewhat crappy, and you know how you get those emails after, and it says you got a C average or a B average, or basically like, do you even know anything about football? You still think you're going to win it. And you keep convincing your wife. You're like, honey, you're not going to believe who Dimitri gave up. He was picking right before me. He didn't go after him. I got the sneak pick of the week, right? But the best was me trying to log in and Dimitri just hassling the crap out of me. It was just attacking me. And it was funny because when he's gone to vacation and I have to watch the boards, you guys think it's a joke. It's not a joke. It doesn't matter what technology I touch. It's just something's wrong.
It just doesn't come natural to Mitch.
It does not come natural. No. That's it.
No.
But we had a good laugh about it. But, dude, this week, how many times?
It came to a point where there was 45 seconds on the clock before the draft started. I just said, listen, you're on your own now. Like there's nothing I can do to help you. He left me behind. That's exactly what happened. I truly felt on that phone call like I worked for IT, right? And I'm just like, sir, is your computer plugged in? No, it's plugged. Okay, is the power on? Yes. When was the last time you updated? Okay, go to file. No, other file. Bottom left. Bottom left.
Can I take over your computer?
How do I do that? Listen, don't worry. Okay, go to your file explorer. Okay, do you see the file?
Yeah.
The file icon? Hit that.
Right.
Okay, C semicolon forward slash
buddy.
It
so
was
funny.
crazy.
This is the week where even though school started and every kid's out of the house, every wife and parent is excited, they're all turning around going, oh no, wait a minute. If they're in school and they do the head turn, they're like, he's going to start talking about fantasy football. And right on cue, buddy, we are, honey, you're not going to believe I got Lamar. I got him.
So we had to put the kids to bed. And Tamara goes, I'm not joking. This happened during the draft. She goes, we got to take Alessia to bed. I'm like, just hold on 3 minutes.
Yeah.
She's like, why? I go, because I need to draft because then I know I have a 5-minute buffer in between. Then we can quickly get her to bed.
Get to bed.
Listen, they were the early rounds.
That's right. And those are the most important.
Yeah, they are.
Like, you guys got to respect. We know what we're doing to some degree. So, all right, you know me.
Before that, what do you think about your team? Odds,
honestly, overall, I'm the kind of guy I'm gonna get my core guys or the guys that it should be core, and then after that, I do a lot of free agency, man. I drop and pick all year long. I mean, other guys that don't do it, I don't know what you're doing or why you keep living on a dream. But yeah, me, I move. I do a lot of transactions.
Okay, let's do it this way. For where you were, because you were 9th out of 12.
I don't like that 9th.
Yeah, and I was 7th.
Yeah,
I hate it because we're middle and you're late middle.
Yeah,
right?
I would say the pick, but this is the thing. I don't want to be first either because then you got to wait all the way back the other way. I'm a big believer. 5 or 6, that's a nice position there. The 5, 6.
My favorite is actually 11 and 12.
Really?
Yeah, because you technically get 2 first-rounders right off the hop.
Yeah, you do, but then you got to wait a long way to come back again.
It's okay.
It's the same thing with 1, bro.
Yeah, well, I agree because with 1, like, what do you do? Like that? The first overall pick, right. I am a firm believer. Don't overthink it. Mm-hmm. Literally take who they're probably going to give to.
Yeah, exactly. Who the system.
Yeah, because it's crazy. It's tough. But anyways, so you think you got a chance? You think you got a chance?
Of course, I got a chance. We're the sports show guys. Yeah. We always got a chance. In fact, I have to have a chance, or it looks silly. Gotta be respectful.
What if it's you and I in the final?
Then even better. I mean, the amount of pub that we're going to do for that, it would be crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we split the... Okay. How about this? We both make it to the final.
Right.
Split the winnings.
Okay.
We either go to a game together.
Right.
Or we just plug it into the sports show, do like a crazy campaign. Something
like that.
Split pot?
Agree. Split pot.
Shakies.
You know me. I was cruising the net. And this week, let me tell you, a lot going on. Kids are back in school. Things are going on. There's one story I wanted to talk about, but something overcame. The first story I wanted to talk about, we're not going to talk about it right now. NASA. They left 2 people up in space. Do you know some people complain about their jobs? Yeah. At least at the end of the day, after your shift, crappy day, you get to go home. There's 2 astronauts literally who can't come home. They can't get them back.
Yeah, guys.
But that story is not as good as the one that surpassed it. Because here, back on Earth, we got drama, baby. NFL just started. And Taylor Swift is minding her own business, just like me, and we're perusing the nets. And the next thing she sees is leaked footage, leaked documents from Full Scope. Who's Full Scope? That's the PR firm that represents her boyfriend. And they had a whole contingency plan. September 23rd, 2024, ladies and gentlemen, the Nostradamus.
29th?
23rd or 29th, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Point is, they were breaking up. And he went on recon. I'm going to sue whoever got that out there, get my lawyers. I can't believe this happened. Listen, Travis, I agree. The leakage it's not good. But when there's a date there, I get the point that you hire a PR firm for something could happen at any time, right? Like you get those guys are paid to be prepared for bad situations.
Sure.
So maybe they do have a manual for each thing, like DUI or firearm arrest or whatever, blah blah blah, something. I don't know, craziness.
Things that would never apply to the NFL.
No, zero.
Firearms?
But one for a breakup with Taylor and then have a date. It's one thing to have it all and then, but when the date is filled in, buddy,
yeah, that's tough.
This is not good.
That's tough.
What did we say to you last year when you guys started dating? What did we say? Don't mess this up. You got her involved. You guys won the Super Bowl with her help, with all those Swifties helping out. Don't say they didn't help because they helped. Now, you might have caused a little bit of drama, brother.
Let's say it's the case.
Let's say.
Why not?
Hey, it's not like we don't love this kind of stuff.
It's just us girls in the room right now. So let's say this is the case. Who played who? Who played who?
Well, it sounds like he's playing her. If he's got a game plan ready to go.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jersey sales. Game plan.
You're at her concerts.
You
got $100 million podcast with your brother. You're entertaining. Are you $100 million worth entertaining?
Wowzers.
Yeah. You get on your knees and you say you're sorry and you just admit that you were going to do it. Just admit it because there's no way around this. The more you lie, the more bad you look on this one.
Listen, Roger Clemens tried what you're about to try. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Lance Armstrong.
Didn't work.
But I'll tell you where it has worked, kind of. You must seek out one Barry Bonds. Okay. Only Barry Bonds can get you to the promised land.
Can you imagine Barry's just sitting back? He's like,
OJ's not around anymore.
Yeah, he was the go-to, actually.
He would have been the go-to. Football to football. It would have worked out.
It would have worked out. In this case, Travis, all I'm going to say to you is this, buddy. And yesterday, it's not like you had a big game. So it's on your mind.
Oh, I know.
She went to the game. She was looking fine, by the way. She looked better than I've ever seen her.
Yep.
But I did find it a little also weird that she wasn't sitting with, I don't know, Brittany Mahomes. Last year, they were all besties. Now not sitting together. That push-off is already happening. There's ways of doing this, Travis, where you didn't have to have literally a package ready to go. Which media outlets you were going to go talk to when the break. This thing was detailed, buddy. Detailed. And rightfully so. For Taylor Swift, this is a big deal. This is what she sings about all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see her next album being called Chiefs. It's so bad. But this is great. You know what? I enjoy every part of it. I enjoy every single part of it. But I'll tell you what, if they do break up, all you new fans, you better stick around.
Yes.
You better stick around.
That's right.
That's all I have to say.
Buddy, I could see Goodell. He's like, in the bathroom, he's just flipping through. He's like, we're about to start, like hours before the start of the regular season. What the? Hello? Hey, Travis, what did I fucking tell you? What did I say?
Okay, so let's say they do break up. Jerry Jones tries to get her at quarterback?
100%. Hi, Dak, we've signed.
Come here. This is who you're dating now. You understand?
100%.
You understand?
100%. 100%.
This is so good.
With that being said, we move. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry NFL. It started yesterday, the start of the NFL season. I got to say, NFL, you do it nice. A little Chiefs, a little Ravens to start on your Thursday night. They're a perfect team for a Thursday night. You know what I mean? Like, they're Thursday night teams. I don't know why it is.
Little AFC rematch.
Yeah, I like it.
Big powerhouses, storylines all around. But one thing. Actually, a couple things. I got a big bone to pick. The first 2 minutes of that game felt like the last 2 minutes of the NBA. If all we're going to get is whistle, flag, whistle, stop, flag. I mean, no. I hope this is not indicative of the season where there's going to be penalty flags thrown every 3 plays. That's number one.
Right. Okay? Now, that does happen with no play in the preseason. You're not going to play your big starters, so you're going to get that in the first game.
They overdid it, man.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. Listen, and even the referees are getting excited.
Listen, illegal formation.
Hey.
Well, these new things. Hold on. These new stupid rules and calls they're making.
Right.
What was so bad the way the game was played all these years?
Nothing. You can't even touch the quarterback anymore. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Now, what was your second point?
No, that was really my biggest point.
Okay, then may I jump in? I'm looking at you, camera. I'm looking at you all. What if, this show, we like to joke around. We like to say, when we're right or right, when I'm wrong or wrong, and later on you'll see where I was wrong. But what did I tell you about instant replay? What did I tell you about instant replay? Well, they got the call right, Mitch. Yeah, okay, sure. His toenail was on the line. You're right. It was on the line. The referee on the field called it touchdown. Jim Harbaugh, right away, we're going for 2. The game was going to end either which way at that moment, ladies and gentlemen. Would it screw the spread for everybody? Yes. But the point of the matter is that you guys ended the game exactly the way I hate the game's ending. Touchdown for 5 seconds. Sorry we went to the replay. His toenail was on the line. Game over. Blah, blah, blah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, nothing is perfect. You can't make this game perfect. Somewhere down the line, I guarantee you the referees blew a call or missed it, and it didn't matter. Because at the end of the game, that was a fantastic finish. That was on its way to being one of the better finishes of all time. Maybe for a start of a season. I don't know where you want to categorize it. I don't care. But guys, this is what I'm talking about. Human error makes the game even more fun. And you got to tell me right now, first play, he throws it, it goes out of bounds. Second play, he completely misses Zayflower. Literally throw.
Just a bit outside.
Exactly. And then the third one, catches the ball. Likely, this tight end out of nowhere, coming making a name for himself.
A very unlikely candidate.
Pulls the ball down like this. Pulls it down beautifully. And you mean to tell me, because it was literally an inch, not even an inch, it was half an inch on the line, you guys want to end the game like that? So heartbreaking. If his shoes were white tipped, I don't think they make that call.
It would have blended in with the goal line.
Right.
Or
you wouldn't have had an indecisive decision to make that call. So the white tip would have worked. The black tip, not so much.
Black tip's probably too big.
The black tip was too big.
It's all about the tip.
It's about the tip. What'd you think of the game overall?
It's a great point that you say about the end there. Okay, right away. I mean, what do you think, Mitch? Was that? I mean, it's hard to argue from the one sense of, like you say, it's there. Right. You get to see it, but man, we're really splitting hairs here. Overall, the game after the first little bit and the last little bit, I didn't mind it. I was actually impressed. They looked in form.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah, that was a good. It almost felt like they literally did a rematch after what they did last year.
Were you more impressed by KC, or did Baltimore kind of impress you more? Than
Baltimore.
Yeah,
I was more impressed. Yeah, I was more impressed with Baltimore because KC didn't really do much different.
Right.
That I see in them, right? Mahomes is a killer, you guys. The guy gets it. That Worthy, for example.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, did they just find
And the Bills had the chance to grab this kid.
Crazy. Did they just find another Tyreek? Is that their new guy right there? I mean, it looks so. So KC, but again, that doesn't surprise me for them to have that. So number one, that's number one. The thing with Baltimore is, I'll tell you, if they play again later in the season, I'm picking Baltimore to win.
I do agree with you there.
Because I'm telling you that Derrick Henry, that run game alone, a couple things that they've been doing, they just weren't as polished.
Do you think Lamar, he got over 100 yards rushing. Was Lamar more running for his life? And granted, Baltimore was missing a lot of their key front line. Or was that just him getting better and better as the game progressed?
I saw Lamar Jackson with some grit yesterday and an actual desire to just let's go. Right? As opposed to, it seems like he was always just trying to really run the plays and then wait till the last minute of the game. Like if you think of the first drive was almost all him before they gave it to Henry to punch it in.
Right.
So I actually liked what I saw from him. I'm telling you, Baltimore, second half, that's going to be a dangerous team, Mitch.
Can I make a bold statement?
Go ahead.
Take the over in almost all your games. Like if you're a bettor, I would say in every single game that you're going to play, take an over, unless the two teams are just maybe bad weather or whatever. But, dude, I don't think defense is going to be that. You know what I kind of saw yesterday? The NFL getting to that level where it's almost like flag football. Like they were airing the ball out. These guys were catching everything. They were running with. Buddy, Lamar Jackson got 100 yards rushing. That's not hard to see. I mean, the guy's the all-time rushing quarterback guy.
But it was how he was running.
But it's also the point that he's not scared to get hit because he knows they're not allowed to hit him. So what I'm getting at is the NFL, because of these new rule changes of hitting the quarterback. There was one play where they hit Mahomes. Come on, man. To me, it was late in the game. They gave it an automatic first down. It's getting silly. Mahomes is a great player. You don't want to see your big guys get hurt, but you also want to see football, man. I do. I want to see. Listen, back in the day, and I don't want to be that old man that yells at the clouds, but back in the day, Lamar goes for a run, and he's shredding you the way he is. Somebody's taking a cheap shot at him, and you know what? It's going to keep him in line. No different than when the NHL gets the goon to go out and slash some guy in the face because he's having too good of a game or something. You know what I mean? There's something to be said. It's how you're going to find out who is the best of the best.
I don't disagree.
We go on more into the NFL. Right now, as we speak, in a couple hours, our boys, the Green Bay Packers, are down in Brazil playing the Eagles, which, by the way, that's a nice game that Brazil got. They shouldn't have got that game. They should have got a Jacksonville, Tennessee game. You don't. Why do you get Green Bay Eagles?
Crazy.
That's a nice game. Like as a Packer fan, and I have many Eagle fans, either one in their stadium, that's a nice game. I'm paying top dollar to be at that game.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not going to São Paulo. It's a nice game. Thoughts, real quick. Like, what are you expecting from either? I mean, both these teams are expected to do big things. What are you thinking of this one?
I don't know how much stock I'm going to put into whoever wins the game today.
Yeah, same.
And I'll tell you why, because there's still question mark teams. Here's the one thing. I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, actually no different of my assessment of them last year. And that was all the potential in the world, can probably go all the way. In a weird way, a team that can win it, but you don't know what you're going to get, because of it. The Packers, I think the Packers are still going to be a solid team, but are they the second half team from last year? Or are they a hybrid of the first team and second half team? Don't know.
I agree.
So I don't think Jordan Love's going to be a problem. I love me the Jacobs.
Right. I like that call. Let's see.
Yeah,
I'm curious. See. I'm more curious than anything else.
So let's see what's. I think the Packers are going to be solid, but this is one of those first games where I'm telling you, whoever wins this game. Every analyst is going to be like, oh, my goodness, and they're back. Or Packers are right where they left off, or the Eagles are back. Watch out, everybody.
Right.
Like,
first game of the season, don't put a lot of stock in it. I agree with you.
Whereas Baltimore and the the Chiefs, you're looking and you're saying, oh, yeah, what we see is what we're going to get all year. Yeah, they're back. They're there. They never left.
They didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, consistent. Love it.
I like it. You know what? I'm on that ball. First game of the season, let's just see where they're at because the Packers got a lot of pressure on them, and so does Philly. Philly for different reasons, though. Not a lot of people are expecting Philly to be in the NFC Championship games or anything like that. But Sirianni, like the coach right now, you know what? You're on the hot seat, buddy. You can't start a season last year. What was it, 9-0?
9 or 10-0.
9 or 10-0, and then end up losing like 7 or 8 games in a row. You're on the hot seat, buddy. Those games still count. Even though the season's over, they still count. Yeah. You know what I mean? The team that I'm most intrigued with, and everybody's talking about it, it's the Houston Texans. Why? Because last year they came out of nowhere. They did everything. But, and maybe we've mentioned it, but they got Stephon Diggs. They got Mixon at running back, which I kind of forgot about. They got Schultz at tight end. They got a couple of defensive pieces. They got a good young coach that everyone likes. You got the Tank Dell is back. You got Nico Collins. Like, honestly, this team looks phenomenal. But why do I just feel like they're going to falter? I don't know why. Why am I playing this bad? I mean, it's my nature. Yeah. It's my nature, guys.
I didn't want to go there. He went there. I didn't want to go
there.
But
do you not think that that's a lot of hype for a sophomore quarterback?
This is the problem. Yes, I think he's the real deal. I'm not worried so much about like everything you said on paper is like, yeah, man, they should be there.
Yeah.
However, this is the problem I see with the Houston.
Yeah.
If I start going through everywhere and you say, look, the Baltimore is going to be there.
Right.
The Kansas City is going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the next wave of teams. You got the Jets.
Yeah. They're nice.
You got the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Bengals. You got the Jaguars. You got the Browns. You got the Texans. All the Texans are now in that second bubble.
Right.
Type of deal. Okay.
Sure.
These are difficult teams to get through. This AFC stacked again, you guys.
Yeah.
And so it's not, and for me with Houston, this is the only worry I have. The coaching. Is the coaching staff good enough to adapt to a a league that literally, the NFL, they adapt fast.
Yes.
Very
much. Yeah.
You show them what you're all about. They are down in the trenches, and I think everyone's figured Houston out.
Mm-hmm.
How creative is the coaching staff? That's all I worry about.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
That's
okay.
it.
You said their name, the Jets. Assuming Aaron is healthy, assuming Breece Hall is what everyone expects him to be, Wilson is now got somebody that can throw him the ball more consistently. That defense was already stout and nasty as it is. Are they number 2, or do they surpass Kansas City after seeing at least a little tidbit of Kansas City on Thursday night?
So I still put them at number 3 only because they got to prove it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is the stingiest defense in the AFC last 2 years. All they need is points on the board. Think about what they did last year with no help at quarterback. Let's call it what it is, you guys.
Not bad at all. I agree.
So if this is a team that can score 24 to 27 points consistently, watch out.
And I think Aaron is like on tilt. I think he's ready to show everyone he still can play. He wants to put all those over the last year that he's been out, I mean, the guy's been on a lot of podcasts. He's been on a lot of shows. He addressed all this ayahuasca stuff and all that, whatever, but he's become political. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of a target on him. Like, the media is waiting for him to falter, and I think he knows that, and he's like, you know what? Watch me now. I'm four-time MVP. And I'm going to show you what this is all about.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
What about Miami? I'm so curious about Miami because they have all the right pieces. Is McDaniels the coach? Is he overplaying it now?
No, this is the problem with Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets. Okay, Let's face it. The Patriots.
Oh, they're
okay. Yeah. Let it go.
I still like them for week 1, by the way. Well, I know it's against Cincinnati. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Wait 1 second.
Are we putting? Lay it down.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's not so much Miami. It's that division. I'm telling you, Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets. They're basically like a game of charades. Like you just got to reach in, and whatever name you pull out, that's who wins a division.
Right.
In one sense.
Okay.
They're the real deal. I think they're a good team. They're just gonna have a problem getting out, and then they got to play against the other bubble teams to make a splash. So this is why I'm telling you, everyone's so evenly matched outside of Baltimore, KC.
Right. I'll be honest with you, who I like right now is I do like the Jets. I think the Jets have the most amount of firepower in that AFC East.
No question.
I like the Dolphins to some degree, but I don't know what it is about them. They still don't. They were fun. They're fun to watch, I think is what I like them. I like watching their coach most of all for some reason. Yeah. But that's it. There's nothing else that scares me. And I said this about team names. We have the wrestling show too. There's some characters like Buddy. You can't scare me with a dolphin. It just doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't go. It doesn't. Scare me. A jet can scare me. That can scare me. Sure.
A bill.
A bill. Yeah. A buffalo. No one wants a buffalo coming around. Yeah.
And a patriot.
Hey.
When you have someone who believes.
Somebody that believes, it's over for everybody.
Tough.
Okay, speaking of the Cincinnati Bengals, tell me real quick, does Jamar Chase, I didn't see anything up until now, will he play on Sunday? Here's the problem. This is a guy, he's still playing on his rookie contract. He's seeing all his other buddies, CD, I'll just say CD right now. CD getting paid, a lot of guys getting paid money, and he's like, where's my money? Where's my money, Jerry? And here's the thing. The owner of the Bengals, he's notoriously cheap. I believe his last name is Mr. Brown, by the way. But I don't know, man. I think he's actually going to show them all. I ain't playing. I'm not playing, Jerry. All right, here we go. It's AFC. We're gonna decide on the division champions. Here we go. Start in the AFC East. Buffalo, Jets, Miami, Patriots.
Jets.
I also agree with the Jets.
Okay.
Let's go to the AFC West. Kansas City, the LA Chargers, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Denver Broncos.
KC.
Yeah, I gotta kind of give it to them. Let's go to the AFC South. Jacksonville, Tennessee, Texas, or the Colts.
Jacksonville.
Really?
Yeah.
No doubt for you. Yeah. You know what? I don't know why. I'm on the Colts train, baby.
I know.
I'm on the Colts train.
I get it.
Last one in the AFC. It's the North. It's the toughest division maybe in all of football. It's Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati.
Yeah, I got the Ravens.
You know what? I want to take Pittsburgh. I do, but I'm going to go Baltimore.
Yeah. They're in that bubble too, in my opinion.
Pittsburgh's hit or miss right now. Yeah. Let's go over to the NFC. NFC North. We start with the Packers. Bears, Vikings, Detroit. You think they're going to beat out Detroit?
Yeah, I'm going Packers.
All right, I'm going to join your partner.
Don't care.
NFC South. North, New Orleans, Carolina, the Buccaneers, or the Falcons.
Something, for whatever reason, is telling me the Falcons.
Really? A lot of people like them. I'm going with the Bucks. Last year they went to the playoffs, won a game. I'm liking you, Bucks.
Yeah, I like the Bucks too, but something's telling me the Falcons. Don't know why.
How about the NFC West? The Seahawks, the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Rams.
49ers.
You know what? I am not going to lie to you. I am really liking the Rams. There's something about this team. I think McVay is going, you know what? Everyone's keeping us low. We got a lot of offense. There's just something there. But it should be the 49ers. And the last one, the NFC East, which I happen to think is going to be the craziest division of them all.
Yeah, man.
Dallas, the Giants, the Eagles, and the Commanders.
Oh, man, this one's tough. I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
I'm going to tell you right now, you kind of have to go Dallas out of the process of elimination, but it's theirs to lose. What I mean is I just feel like they're going to implode. I don't know why. I just have this feeling.
Why? They brought Elliott back.
Right. I mean, that's a big thing. That's huge. That's enormous.
It worked out for the Calgary Flames.
I'll tell you one thing.
We bring people back.
One guy I am looking forward to watching this year, I want to see this Jaden Daniels, the kid that LSU won the Heisman last year. He's with the Commanders, taken second overall. I think this kid could be Griffin number 2. Griffin the 3rd. He's Griffin the 4th.
Griffin the 4th.
All right. We move over to the NHL real quick. Okay. Thoughts and prayers again to the Johnny Gaudreau family along with his brother. It's just sad. This week, Columbus and Calgary both had a vigil. Many people attended. It was actually quite beautiful. Big turnout. Just shows you how much we actually love Johnny here. And if it wasn't for the fact that he left us, who knows? We'd have. You know what? I'm going to say this. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do make a statue of Johnny to some degree. He was that big of a deal, and based on the situation, I could see it happening.
Yep.
With that being said, a classy move by Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl did sign with the Edmonton Oilers last week, but because of the news, he held off. He said, "Hey, there's bigger things in the world than hockey." Signs 8-year, $112 million, making that $14 million a year. Now, if you listen to the sports show, you know how I feel about him, about McDavid, about them breaking up, but they're not going to break up. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, listen, it was a brilliant move. If you could pay for it and you can do it, great. What is McDavid going to get? What do you like about this? I got to be honest. I'm still on the train, Dimitri, of this. I have a kid on the way, right? I could go and buy a Porsche Cayenne. I could put two seats in the back, but I need a minivan. I don't want it, but I need it. This is the way I look at the same situation. You got the McDavid, you got the Draisatl, you got the Porsche, basically, Edmonton. But is it functional? Does it give you everything you need to get the Stanley Cup? That's what I say.
So if you look at this contract,
right,
you base it off of today.
Yeah.
You could say, look, for $14 million, what do you think a team in 2025 can get you?
Right.
Okay, I get that.
I got it.
However,
do we change cups?
However, in the 5th year of this contract,
Fridays are good.
Fridays all right. In the 5th year of this contract,
right,
where the salary cap probably will be, where the fair market value of anyone signing a contract 5 years from now is going to be,
right.
These are the contracts that look like a deal.
I hear you.
These are the contracts where what Pittsburgh did with Crosby and Malkin. These are the contracts with Taves and Kane. These are the contracts with Perry and Getzlaf that made sense after the fact. I don't mind it from there. You lock a guy up, star player for 8 years. That's his career commitment to Edmonton. I get all that stuff. All I'm going to say is that if where you say, what's McDavid worth?
If
McDavid has to make a decision, and his agent to be like, listen, if Draisaitl's 14, that makes me 17. I want the money. Or you make a decision and say, match the contract or get me a slice more for whatever, because I'm number one in the league.
Right.
But they have to decide as a group what they want to do. Listen, I follow the Pittsburgh Penguins closely.
This is where I was going to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I hope you're going to – I'm wondering if you're going to say what I was going to ask you.
Okay. I follow the Pittsburgh Penguins very closely because they're my favorite team. So I'm very immersed in the contracts of the big guys. At the end of the day, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and Fleury, while he was there, but mostly the big three, the two big guns on the forward and the one big gun on the defense. They banded together and they made a decision to keep the team intact. And at never one point in time were they the number one salary go-getters in the league.
Right.
It's the same thing that that Yzerman did in the era of the Red Wings. It's the same thing that Tom Brady did in the Patriots and whatever. So you guys have to decide, because all the reports and news comes out and says, hey, this is their first step to keep the core intact. Yeah, but it's how that core wants to keep this whole thing intact.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying, Mitch.
My question, you didn't answer it, but my question is, how long did it take before they won the Cup? Because we know you guys won it 3 times, right? And so my question is, I just want one. When was the first time? Do you know?
Yeah,
how long from the time they both signed is what my question really
5 years.
Is. 5 years.
Essentially 5 years.
So you heard it from Dimitri. Basically, you guys need another 5 years. Should it not happen next year, the year after that, don't worry. You're on pace. It's 5 years.
No, they're not on pace. They're past pace.
They're past pace. They're not on pace.
They've been on the league longer.
Way longer.
Malkin,
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Listen, Malkin was drafted in 2004.
Right.
Crosby was drafted in 2005.
Right.
Marc-Andre Fleury was actually drafted 2003. Okay. So they had the 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
Okay. They made it to the Cup 08, 09, and then 9, 10.
Okay.
Okay. Or no. Yeah, 08, 09. They won the Cup
in
09. So
who are we counting? Are we counting from Malkin? From Malkin
So
on.
this is from
Let's
Malkin.
count Malkin. Yeah.
Malkin.
From Malkin. Because we're talking two major guys.
So they lost in a final.
Right. I remember that.
And then they returned again and won it.
Agreed.
5 years.
5 years.
These guys have already passed that.
They're past it. But did they? I guess my question is
from draft.
From draft. I'm talking about money. because that's where everyone really is waiting. The rookie contracts, all that stuff, that's, whatever it is, right?
They were never the number one money makers in the league.
I'm not, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Draisatl and McDavid are those kind of guys that care as well. I'm just wondering from the time that both of them are, like, McDavid got his money a couple of years ago. He's making fine money. And now Draisatl got his money. I'm wondering, okay, when your two biggest guys were signed, at what point from there did they win the cup? I'm not expecting you to know that answer. I'm wondering if it was 5 years, 3 years, 2 years.
Okay.
Once both guys got their nut, and they both got their nut.
Well, they would have had to re-sign their after their 3-year contracts.
I guess you're right. Good point.
So 2 years.
So really, they got 2 more years.
Yeah, and Kane and Taves.
So they're on pace.
This is what I'm saying. Kane and Taves did the same thing. Look,
right. This is what I'm wondering.
To your point, Mitch, when you look at that Blackhawks team, for example, which to me is one of the most complete teams ever. Mm-hmm. If you think of the bounce back between them and the Kings,
right?
You look, it's like you had Seabrook, you had Keith, you had Taves, you had Kane, you had Bufflin, you had Ladd, you had boom, Crawford, and that. Go, keep going, everyone. If you want a team like that, you got to make a couple sacrifices.
Right.
But it comes from the star players.
Right.
See, this contract, like, for example, I remember Ovechkin. Remember back, I think he signed, he was either 13 or 15-year contract back in the day. The Capitals everyone's like, why are they paying him this money? Well, dude, when you got Ovechkin over almost 15 years I remember it was $9.64 million average salary.
Right.
You get a deal. So I don't mind what Edmonton's done here.
Right.
Because Nurse's contract, I think he's overpaid, but right? But
he's making the most in the NHL this year.
It's crazy.
The most.
Right? But their whole theory was they just did it on the wrong guy. So I don't mind these contracts. Look, in 5 years from now, having Draisatl at $14 million when you now have to sign guys at 18, 19.
I totally agree. I do.
I
actually agree. I'm just, when I use the minivan in the Porsche situation, you guys know how I feel about it. I just feel like you think about how many guys you could have got for either one of these guys. Or in this case, Draisatl.
Yeah.
A lot. And look, it's easy for me to sit here and tell you that I would trade Draisatl if I was the GM of Edmonton. Would I actually do it? Probably not, because I wouldn't want to lose my job right away.
Yeah, but you know the other thing.
But the reality is, I got to still make those phone calls. And I want just to hear that phone calls were made. That, yeah, you know what? No one offered me anything. Nothing worth doing. Because if somebody's saying to you, yeah, you know what? We're willing to give you X player, Y player, these many draft picks, you got to look at it and say, man, that is kind of what we were missing in last year's run.
But you know the other thing, too, is us as Canadians, right? The whole Canadian hockey fan, we don't stand up enough. And this is what I mean. A Canadian team has not won the Cup since 1993, being the Montreal Canadiens.
That's right.
Okay? And we're kind of content with that. We're just, is this year our year? And we've been doing that for the last 30-plus years.
But, Dimitri, you got to admit, too,
what I'm saying is for Edmonton,
yeah,
from a fan base, yeah, they came close. But they're pulling the wool over everyone's eyes, excuse me. It's like they just can sign, as long as they have McDavid and Draisatl, right? This is what ownership doesn't, we don't care to bring the cup back.
I'm gonna do a kind of a hot take here. Canada will never win a cup ever again unless the Edmonton Oilers win one right now. And follow me on this. The tax situation here, when you got John Tavares right now, if you don't believe me, call him. He's getting taxed by the CRA because his bonus money was improper, something like that. Some CRA agent picked it up, blah, blah, blah. Every player will be going to the States, especially certain states, the Dallas and the Florida and the Vegas. I'm throwing those three in there just because they don't have the tax implications that they do in Canada. Canada will never win a cup until they change some of these situations. Or they make it even. And does that mean that it's got to be collective bargaining and all that? I don't know. I'm not that smart. All I'm telling you is Canada will never win a cup ever again until that can be somewhat parallel. If Edmonton does not win the cup in the next few years with these two major superstars, it will not happen. It just won't. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm saying it straight up. Done.
Buddy, this is where I credit Draisatl, like some of these players. You're making a commitment to live in Edmonton, Alberta. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be a jerk about things, but let's be honest. It's like people playing in Winnipeg.
They can live anywhere they want. Meaning they can go to Vegas. They can go to Florida. Yeah. They can go to Tampa, Dallas, wherever. It doesn't matter. I agree.
Crazy.
So the fact that they're doing that, can we say this as well? Sorry, you got me going now. McDavid is Gretzky. Draisatl can be Messier. If they can't win with those two core players, I don't think my take is that hot. I think I'm just being realistic.
Don't disagree.
Boom. You know what else is realistic?
What's that?
Rapid Banter.
Oh, okay.
Shaq was recorded this week on a podcast, asked who's the worst player of all time. By the way, instead of GOAT, they call it the WOAT now. Isn't that hilarious?
Amazing.
Worst player of all time. He says it's Rudy Gobert. Oui et non.
Really?
Yeah. You know what
Okay.
He says it because he goes, he's making 250 schmil, and he's like, he is not like earning his 250 schmil.
Fair enough.
That's why he's gone.
Fair enough. Okay.
Conor McGregor jokes about being the president of Ireland one day. Can the world handle Putin, Trump, and McGregor as the world leaders?
That's a great United Nations.
That would be wicked.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Tank Dell, wide receiver for the Houston Texans. His real name is Nathaniel Jesper. Good change or bad change?
Oh, great change.
By the way, you guys know how I am about names. Is today's MAGA MALAKA names?
Ooh.
China unveils world's first intelligent robotic whale shark. Robotic whale shark versus sharks with lasers, man.
All I asked for is sharks with freaking laser beams on their head. Yeah, why can't that be done? Good point, Mitch.
How about this? Why are they doing that? Why did China go, you know what? You know what we really need? A robotic whale shark.
Yeah, I mean, heaven forbid we think of the amputees in our world, right?
There's two people stuck in space. Why can't we all help each other?
Yeah, we couldn't. We were doing the whale shark. And why the whale shark? Why not the great white?
That's a good point. I don't know. Last one. Should the UFC go to mystery fights? Example, you have no idea. Jones is picked to win, but he doesn't know who he's going to fight. So you know Jones is on the card, but you don't know who he's going to fight. It's Pereira! Should they do it? Yes or no?
Tell me there's nothing better than a WWE crowd pop.
I'm just saying. Just saying. That was big on the internet, believe it or not. Somebody brought it up this week. They're like, shouldn't the UFC go to mystery fighters? I kind of like it.
And who is going to challenge? It's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Amazing.
We're off the MAGA MALAKA. Everyone knows what happened. Dimitri kiboshed the two ideas.
He
kiboshed and killed the whole thing.
You bring it up.
He never gets up.
Every single.
I'm just saying.
Are you going to
because
let
this
it go?
week I have two great ones, and it's too bad we couldn't talk about both of them. But here we go. Option number one. It's crappy jobs. I just told you. Two people are stuck in NASA. They're stuck up in space. But guess what? Apparently there might be two other jobs. So you get a job with NASA. Mom, I'm working for NASA. I'm an astronaut. I've been dreaming of this all my life. Hello, NASA. Are you coming to pick us up or? Yeah, you missed the last flight. It's going to be about 3 years before we get one back up to you. Houston? We got a problem.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Houston. We are currently unavailable to take your call, but if you leave a message, we will transmit our message after the beep.
Option number two. We talked about it earlier. By the way, he did say, one of the astronauts, I got his name right here. Hold on, I got it. Butch Wilmore says that he's been hearing things outside the capsule or wherever they're at. He's a little nervous.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have nothing to eat or drink because you've run out of rations.
Second one is, we said it earlier at the very beginning, Travis Kelce breaking up. Maybe instead of a whole PR thing, he needed better breakup lines. It's MAGA MALAKA breakup line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got to
I knew you were going to go that one. I put more effort on this one because I knew this was where he was going to go. You don't think I know this guy?
Well, this is my whole point. Okay, so you got the other one, Mitch. You bring
now,
it up
by the way, this can work both ways. Man, woman, woman, man. You know, the breakup scenarios here. You can say
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's a breakup. Hold on, it's a unisex breakup.
It's a unisex breakup.
Time out.
MAGA MALAKA.
This is my whole point. Yeah. You come up with two. I always say you are more than welcome. That second one, to bring it next week.
Maybe I
will.
But
you put them away.
I do.
You never talk about them again, and then you come in each week.
They're my memoirs.
And you pout about it.
I have memoirs.
You pout about it.
Would you read my memoirs? Just kidding. I think my life hasn't been like super interesting, but it's not like that boring either.
I do your, honestly, if you had a memoirs.
Chapter 8, grade 8.
I do your Audible. I'd narrate.
Oh, could you read it?
I would
that
narrate
would be
your
awesome.
Audible.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, Chapter 8, Sports Show.
How it all started.
Dimitri and I were in a sleazy back wall.
The smell of Johnny Hockey's hair ran through the
This edition of Mitch Wars was brought to you by Audible and publication by Sports Show in conjunction with Good Amy Productions.
Have you ever noticed, but can I ask a question real quick before we get to this? And maybe Amy can answer this because now she's in the TV biz. You know, why, like, you know, at the beginning of a show or a movie, there's like 15 different credits of who like made the movie.
Right.
Well, who made it then? Like, it's like, okay, you got MGM Studios. Then you got this other one, this other studio, and this and this. Like, who did it? I don't know who did it. You know what I'm trying to say?
I always get confused when the director and the producer are the same, like they did the same job. Like, what does that mean?
Well, doesn't that mean that if it's a director-producer, then basically they funded the whole thing and directed it, right?
Right.
Okay, but at the beginning, they're like, MGM, brought to you by Nesbitt Burns, brought to you by blah, 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 brought to you by... Like, they've got 15 different syndicates in this thing. Like, I just don't ever know who's who.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
All right.
Okay.
As long as I am not the only one that feels weird about it. That's all I'm saying.
I think you pay a little too much. Hey, MAGA MALAKA, credits.
Let's go next week. Done. Here we go. Back to what we were talking about.
Okay.
Breakups. Here we go. It's unisex.
Give it to me.
It's ready to go.
Okay.
They say one man's trash is another man's treasure. I hope you find someone that treasures you. MAGA or MALAKA?
You know, I'm going to go with MAGA on this one.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad because what happens is it's confusing.
Right.
Because while you're getting broken up with, you're still trying to figure out what that person just said.
What did he say?
And
he's already left.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gone. We need to talk. MAGA or MALAKA?
MALAKA.
Why?
Because you can't get the guard up.
Oh, you think that'll get the guard up?
I think you get to a place where you're just going to talk.
Got it. Let's take our relationship to the previous level.
MALAKA, that's just insulting.
I disagree. I think it's a nice way of going, let's bring it down a notch. I'm breaking up with you.
Like when previous, you mean
like
slow things down?
When you were dating Gary, like I wasn't in the picture. Now I'm not in.
Yeah, before we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you take the L out of lover, it spells over. See ya.
MAGA.
That's MAGA.
Yeah, you got to.
Because it's witty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's witty.
Yeah. And there's no confusion.
How about this one? I think this one, if this doesn't spell it out for your significant other, there's really no other way around it.
Okay.
Hey, I think it's time to cancel our gym memberships.
No MALAKA.
MALAKA.
That's misleading. Because you could get caught in a trap.
Because she's like, oh, so which gym are we going to?
Be like, oh, okay, so we can
working out from home?
Yeah, so what are we doing with the funds instead?
Right.
Yeah. Then you got to backtrack. That's a backtrack breakup.
I kind of like this one. I saw this one. I met someone way hotter. See, I think sometimes it's all about the Band-Aid, ripping it off.
Yeah, MAGA.
MAGA.
Yeah.
Just get to the point.
Yeah, because you know what happens is if you did.
Right.
Then that person can go back and be like, so what happened? Said met someone way hotter. Let's creep their Facebook and Instagram.
Right. Well, they're going to do that anyway.
It's like, actually, you know what, Doug? He is.
Hey, babe, are you in a tunnel? Because I think we're breaking up.
MALAKA.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. Too many things.
I actually run that joke to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I'm not like that. I'm just being funny. I'm really doing it to impress you.
How about this one? We need to cover more ground. Let's split up.
MAGA, if you make me laugh,
yeah, see, like, how can you be mad at him? How?
Yeah.
That's how you fell in love at the first time.
100%.
He was funny. Now he's dead inside.
Because you did this to him.
All right, some of the classics. Here it is. Last ones. It's not you. It's me.
No, MALAKA, because it could very well be you.
It could be. I like the idea.
You should just go out and be like, listen, it's you.
Here's the second one. It's not you. Okay, I'm lying. It's you.
Yeah, MAGA.
Yeah, MAGA. That's what I'm saying.
That's how I would do it.
Last one. Now this one, I'm telling you, I think could win it all.
Ooh.
I'm pregnant. MAGA.
Yeah.
MAGA. Done. It's over. It's
I'm
done.
pregnant. Where'd you? What? Hello, honey. Hello. You've reached the voicemail of the space station.
There it is. This is why Fridays are the best.
We were there. We went there. We brought it back. It's like tying a shoe. Lace over lace. Bunny ear, loop-de-loop. The shoe is tied.
Boom.
The score is tied. It's overtime. Because this is one for the books. We got to shove it in the locker. We do got to hit the showers. All right.
Photographer, is it a crappy job or not? Photographer, do it real quick. Come on. For the people. MALAKA!
Listen.
It is.
Listen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have such an eye for this.
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I'm the best. I'm the best.
Oh, there's so much lighting.
But you know what I hate about photographers?
Yeah.
It's actually the same even in my business with like financial advisors and whatnot.
Yeah.
Stop using words and concepts that you know the other person doesn't understand. For example, you know what? We got to stand over here because the aperture is not what aperture. What is it? Is that?
Yeah. What does it mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know what that is.
Aperture?
Aperture?
What is that? Is that a type of soft drink?
Sounds like it.
I don't know. Stop it.
I had an aperture today.
I don't need you to know your process. Just tell me where to stand. You're the photographer. I'm not.
Yeah.
You forgot one.
Okay.
From The Simpsons.
For what?
Welcome to Dumpsville.
Oh,
Population.
I'm doing my cross. I had it, and I said, no one will understand it except for you. Except for this guy.
You don't know? Yeah. Aunt Stella?
That's the best one. Welcome to Dumpsville. Population you. That is the best line of all time. The Simpsons are the greatest.
What do you got for the other MAGA MALAKA? I'm in the mood. Just kidding.
Wait, hold on.
Just kidding.
Have a good week.
See what I did there?
Bye.
She don't know the difference between this and them. Now you about to win this. Well, freedom is so now.
W was Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.
Locked in.
Amy can do anything.
She's the best.